Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, and welcome to this Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Last episode, we made our way through more of the middle city here, found an Aasimar who wants us to rescue some slaves here in the Fleshmarkets, and found the Harem of Ardent Dreams, which we can't go into right now. And now we're at the Fleshmarkets themselves, which we are going to need to deal with. I am curious, what happens if we choose to buy them? The slaver gives you a false, emotionless smile. Intricate symbols appear on his forehead, twisting and merging until they finally form figures you know. 25000. Fine. Crebus's mouth falls wide open. Any human who tried to imitate his grimace would find their jaw badly dislocated. With delicate, neat movements, the vendor places the gold back into his black, gaping maw, handful by handful, until he swallows all the money you've paid him. Then he makes a delicate gesture toward the slaves and gives an approving nod. A line of letters runs over his face. Don't delay using them. Magic's unpredictable. The Lunatics don't seem to realize they have a new owner. They continue to daydream quietly, staring at something inside their minds, and sometimes whispering inexplicable things. Champion, heed the advice that I give you, though I do so with a heavy heart. Do not let these unfortunates into your camp, for darkness has branded them with its ominous mark. They pose a threat, and my heart tells me that any attempt to show them mercy will lead to great loss and bloodshed. Well, you are free. Your words make no impression on the lunatics. Perhaps they don't even understand them. The words on the vendor's palms read, "They cannot be set free." The lunatics stand motionless as if carved from stone. Upon closer inspection, you realize their lips are moving, almost imperceptibly but constantly. They whisper something you cannot hear. Perhaps it is a spell or a chant addressed to the emptiness behind their eyes. Champion, okay. Do you understand me? The unfortunates poisoned by Crebus's magic potions ignore your words. They continue to stare into the void with their eerie black eyes, whispering. Suddenly, one of the lunatics turns his head slightly toward you. He looks through you with a huge black eyes that lack pupils. White motes in their depths resemble stars. The lunatic opens his mouth and speaks to you in a clear voice. You have a star in your heart. A strong one. It is beautiful. What happened to you? The lunatic's hands start to move. With a grace that seems impossible for a mortal, his hands begin drawing something in the air. Finally, the lunatic starts talking. His hoarse voice is distinct and clear. Everything inside has boiled away, and now it's empty, as dark as a well. From the bottom of the well, you can see the stars even when the sun is high in the sky. We have boiled away, and now we see the stars. Go to my camp now. The lunatics obediently turn and go where they were told. Their hands move through the air with grace, and their unnaturally straight backs seem oddly inappropriate here in the abyss, the plane of distortions, curves, and capricious shapes. I'm gonna reload here. I dare say we'll not be buying slaves if we can avoid it. Slaves for every need. They don't last long, but the price is right. The Cambion, who gives you a smarmy bow, looks like he once tried to split in two, then changed his mind. His chest is twice as wide as it should be, and double pupils stare at you from each of his eyes. Every time this freakish creature opens his mouth, an impressive goiter swells on his neck. His voice has an unpleasant croaking quality, as if a giant toad had taken up residence in his throat.
Would you like to buy some fresh flesh? You can call me Raggy. I'm at your service.
Who are you? What are you selling?
Everybody calls me Raggy, and the name's just fine by me. I'm the top vendor here at the Fleshmarkets, no matter what the others think. They sell expensive, classy goods, whereas I specialize in rabble and riffraff. My goods cost 10 times less than what the others are selling, but I have 100 times more clients than everyone else. Everybody needs a slave. Cheap, maybe slightly defective, but still a slave. Big shots from the upper city prefer to do business with the others, but so what? The middle city feeds me much better.
Raggy raises his voice for the last part. You notice that the demons standing nearby cast cautious glances at the insolently grinning Cambion. Seems this shabby specimen has some authority here after all. Besides, I don't just sell live goods. I sell the stuff that used to belong to these poor fools as well. You'll find some extremely valuable and interesting items among the loot taken during slave raids. Show me the spoils you've looted. Blackened Rags. Plus 10 competence bonus on knowledge arcana checks. Increases the DC of spells from which spell list and hexes by 1. I mean, that's something that would be good for Ember. Grants his wearer a plus 2 insight bonus on attack and damage rolls with ranged weapons against large and bigger enemies. Not bad. Rusty Dawn Battle Axe. Ooh, crit does times 4 instead of times 3 and weakens the enemy, suffering -3 to strength and con. When it occurs, the wielder must pass athletics or the axe will be stuck, making melee attacks unavailable for the next round. Ugh. Bad. Rude Stopper, plus 5 heavy crossbow. The enemy must pass a will save or become unable to cast spells or attack for 1 round. Cloak of Resistance plus 4 also grants its wearer a 30-foot aura which grants all enraged allies in the area a plus 2 on attack and damage. We've already got the coin for the Fleshmarkets. Show me your slaves.
I can offer you a shipment of Galarian slaves. They certainly aren't in the best shape. Galarians are notorious for their fragility, but torturing them sure is fun.
As Raggy grins, you spot at least 2 rows of needle-sharp teeth in his mouth. The Galarian slaves are clad in torn rags, their bodies emaciated. Many have wounds and cuts. Their blank indifference to everything happening around them suggests these unfortunates lost any hope of escape long ago. Seizing the moment and deftly spitting at the method in the cage, Raggy nods at him.
If you wish, you can also purchase this little blighter. He won't be of much use, but you can entertain yourself for some time torturing him. He is sharp-tongued and quite resilient. I guarantee you'll spend several interesting and pleasant evenings killing this little freak.
Chuckling, Raggy watches as the Mephit wipes the spit from his face and mutters curses under his breath. The Mephit's voice is angry, but tinged with respect. Let's stop there. Raggy bids you farewell with a sneaky smile.
Please come again. I have interesting samples of live flesh here from time to time, and my prices aren't too hindrance.
Raggy spits out the last word with a special mixture of envy and contempt. Oh, something to loot. Herax. A grotesquely fat demon speaks to a demoness standing in front of him, his voice irritated yet slightly sycophantic.
If you want these sweet awesome ears for the 10,000 delights, cough up 50,000. Just look at how delicious they are. These girls haven't yet been whipped. Your clients will be clamoring for them, and after they become too worn out, they'll make a magnificent stew.
You may have played your little games with that insolent bitch Shavaro, but that won't work on me. Ever since I took over her turf, customers have been lining up. I can do quite well even without these Asimars of yours if I must. So I'm going to give you 30,000 and you're going to accept and say thank you, most esteemed Herax, for forgiving me my pathetic attempt to play you for a fool. The Asimar slaves standing nearby try to avoid looking at the angry demoness. Even in their miserable position, they retain the mark of inner purity and nobility inherent to their kind. Puffing himself up, the fat demon answers abruptly and angry.
50,000 for these delightful innocent creatures your shabby and worn-out demonesses can't hope to compete with. That is my final offer.
May Lamashtu swallow you, you ugly bucket of lard. The disgustingly fleshy demon greets you with a wave, his arm encased in roll after roll of fat.
Allow me to present my living wares, the finest household slaves to serve you and entertain your body and spirit. And they can satiate even the most exquisite cravings.
The demon accompanies his last claim with voluptuous lip-smacking, looking pleased. Who are you?
I am Dionk, the slave trader. When I was younger and much, much slimmer, I was a dashing raider. I spent my days abducting concubines from other planes for the harems of the most powerful lords of the Abyss. My experience, however, has shown me that raising and training pleasure slaves from an early age is a much more profitable and much less risky business. That's why I now own the largest and most respectable slave farm, where I breed representatives of various races from different planes. Though I haven't entirely given up the raiding.
His deceptively slow movements and soft folds of flesh fail to hide the powerful muscles beneath. This demon could likely lift a wagon with 2 horses by himself.
There is a certain pragmatic elegance in the way these slavers arrange their everyday routines.
Every trouble can be solved with the most simple and effective tool: violence. The legalized enforcement of obedience. What were you arguing about with that demoness?
She wanted to buy my beautiful Aasimar concubines for her palace of pleasures, the 10,000 delights. Unfortunately, her common sense and good taste couldn't compete with her greed. She offered me a paltry price, next to nothing, instead of gratefully paying the full sum for these slaves. Offering 30,000 for a group of innocent pure Aasimars shipped here with the utmost care. No one has laid a single finger on them. No one has taken a single bite out of them. It's simply outrageous.
Show me what you have for sale.
Oh, just feast your eyes on them. The most exquisite pleasure slaves, raised in comfort and luxury at your service. They are well-trained, neat, docile, and stand ready to become ideal servants for your manor. All of them are young and healthy, in a perfect state of ripeness. Of course, we have made sure that their tender flesh meets the expectations of even the most demanding gourmet. They have no inkling of what awaits them, so you need not worry about fear spoiling the meat, making it tough and bitter.
Beautiful, athletic, and well-groomed young men and women of different races smile sweetly at you. Their cheerful looks aren't marred by the slightest hint of intelligence. These slaves remind you of happy and well-fed sheep grazing in the pasture. The slaver's eyes widen and he starts to speak, nearly hyperventilating.
Just recently, one of my slave hunting crews returned, bringing me a most beautiful gift. A group of young, fresh, pure Aasimar girls, full of mouth-watering innocence. All of them are beauties in their prime, caught with the utmost care, unwounded. Shamira will take an interest in them, I wager. Because of her origin, she loves having her fun with Aasimars. There are countless ways one can use such a valuable acquisition, though if you ask me, the smartest way is to treat yourself to a medium-rare fillet with rich, meaty gravy.
The Aasimar women look pale and scared, but even in captivity, they manage to retain their dignity and refuse to let the demons savor their fear. As Diunk continues his nauseating commentary, they raise their chins higher and do their best to maintain cold, detached expressions. Such beauties should be enjoying life and delighting others with their loveliness, not bathing their faces in tears in the middle of a slave market. Dayron casts a grim sidelong look at the captured Aasimar women. His hand reaches for his coin purse. How much do you want for them? The demon pointedly ignores the count and only looks at you.
Would you like to buy these girls? Well, we can negotiate a deal, but I warn you now, they won't come cheap.
Don't you get it? You're going to be eaten. The pleasure slaves erupt in frightened exclamations. Whimpering pathetically, they turn their trusted gazes to the demon, some of tears gleaming in their eyes. One of the slaves builds up enough courage to respond to you, petulantly retorting, "What are you talking about? We are slaves intended for exquisite pleasures, not livestock. Our job is to please and satisfy the tastes of the most influential and mighty demons, to entertain them and to be their pets. Who would kill such a valuable asset just for food?" Something tells me these unfortunate simpletons have not the slightest idea what exquisite pleasures mean where demons are concerned. It isn't even certain that they would have lived any longer had they been sold to fulfill their stated purpose, rather than sent straight to the slaughterhouse.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Stop messing with the heads of my sweet little pets. Daddy Diunk loves you all and he'd never eat you. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
They're fattening you up like pigs for slaughter. They're demons. They eat people like you. Animalistic terror distorts their beautiful faces. Staring at you with childish accusation, Diunk's pets start wailing and jostling one another. Diunk slowly maneuvers his massive body toward the nearest slave, a slender young boy with long, fair hair and soft features. With a lazy swipe of the demon's claw, the boy's lower jaw disappears and blood starts gushing from the terrible crimson cavern where his jaw used to be. The boy blinks in dumb bewilderment, and then a wild, bestial howl erupts from his throat as he falls. Demons wearing wolfish grins crowd in from every corner of the market, savoring every moment of their victim's helplessness.
Damn it! Who asked you to tell these idiots the truth? They're like cattle. They go wherever they're led until they see the butcher's knife.
Ranks.
Okay, well,
Cover me, all right?
kill him. Well, we're at least killing a slave trader. Rumors about the commander are spreading through the city. That's positive. The Aasimars no longer look broken. Hope has brought the pale glow of heavenly fire to their eyes. One of the women clutches a hairpin that by some miracle went unnoticed by the guards. Resembling a gleaming stiletto, it ends in a rather vicious-looking point. With their expressions alone, the slaves send a clear message. Don't dare come near us. We stand ready to defend ourselves. Help us, kind lady. We know you are no stranger to compassion and mercy. Your aura warms our hearts like the sun of our beloved Galarian. What is this aura that you sense? We don't know. We just sense it. We are no sorceresses. We are guided by our senses alone. But as soon as you appeared, we were touched by bright, clean energies, and we knew you for a friend. We heard about something like this, a horrible demon. Our master called him the Echo, wanted to buy us and use us to find a stranger from Galarian, a stranger who is surrounded by a benevolent light wherever she goes. They failed to agree on a price, so the terrible demon left, spitting curses. What a relief. He was worse than anyone else we've seen here.
Perhaps these poor, wretched souls sensed my presence. The blood of heaven runs through their veins, and our kinship reveals itself. But what dire news they bring! The Echo of Discari, an avatar of our sworn enemy, does not cease his attempts to get me.
Not far from here, an Aasimar is waiting for you. Go find him. He'll provide you with shelter. The Aasimar women look at you, their expressions piercing. You see a mixture of gratitude and awe in their eyes. Thank you, stranger. We did not expect any help in this terrible place. We will not forget it. Okay. They're safe. Oh! Okay, I can't do that one. Not from here. Climb to the rooftop.
Thanks, Lamb. You're so awesome.
Oh, look at that. Some loot. Ow. Okay, that one was a failure. Get back on the mount.
Not your words.
You can actually give us a heal.
To be broken.
And give me an extra heal. I am actually tempted to kill some of these other slave traders. Like this one here, Raggy. Save some of his slaves. Let me drop a save. Alright, Raggy, I don't like you being a slave. Your slaves are lucky they're about to see their master choke on his own blood. Out of nowhere, a knife with a wide, ragged blade appears in Raggy's hand. Spinning the knife skillfully with his two numerous fingers, he leers at you without fear.
You wanna dance?
Taking advantage of all the fuss, the Mephit deftly picks the lock of its cage using its pointed tail as a skeleton key. Once free, it makes an obscene sound at Raggy, winks at you mischievously, and immediately takes off into the air. Oh, and you knocked him down, and he's dead. Well, he was easy to kill. The slaves stand huddled in a tight circle. Knives, picked up from the ground, glint in the hands of some. It is almost as if the scent of demon blood has imbued their exhausted bodies with new strength. They are clearly no longer willing to simply watch their lives be bargained away. One of them, a young man with an injured leg, flashes a bloodthirsty grin at you. So what's next, ma'am? Should we run, or should we face death here? We won't go back in a cage. We've had enough of this demon filth. Reginald doesn't raise his voice, but it acquires the steely edge of a commander addressing their troops.
Who is the leader of this group? Are there any among you who have served in the military?
A young man salutes with the painful pride of a defeated but as yet unbroken soldier.
Corporal Grotberg of the Vanguard Scouts reporting for duty, sir.
The young man throws a sharp look at his comrades, and they seem to immediately change. Their backs become ramrod straight, and the bleak submission in their eyes is replaced by that familiar soldierly tenacity that seems to say, "Screw you."
As you were. I can see you've been through a great deal, but the reinforcements are finally here, and you can proceed under the commander's lead.
Regil salutes the freed soldiers, swift and abrupt like a saber strike. Darin looks at Regil with a sly grin. Hasn't it crossed your mind, Paralictor, that among these slaves there may be those who, horror of horrors, chose to surrender to the demons? And now you're saluting them.
The Inquisition will deal with that back on Galarian. Those who were captured while unconscious, who fought till the end, or were abducted against their will, they won't have any trouble. Those who succumb to fear and surrendered will be executed. But at least they will die by the hand of their fellow soldiers, instead of as slaves tortured to death by demons. A decent death.
Well, that's one way to put it. You can take refuge at my camp.
Iomade bless you. Thank you for standing up for us. We'll never forget your kindness.
The ragged slaves huddle in a tight group and hurry toward the exit. They are frightened and tired, but you can see a glimmer of hope and defiance in their eyes.
You did as every true Galarian should by saving the people from your homeworld from slavery. Thanks to people like you, my heart holds no doubts that we will emerge victorious from this struggle.
Okay. Well, we've freed some more slaves. Kurz, who are you? A tough-looking demon with a rough, cruel face and the hands of a seasoned warrior greets you with a grin. Looking to buy slaves, eh? Me, I've just sold off the shipment I captured during the last raid. I am Kurz, captain of the Bloody Bitch. Who are you? The demon stares at you in disbelief, then bursts into laughter. Who am I? I'm Kurz, known by some as Kurzgoutstab, captain of the legendary Bloody Bitch. I'm the most famous damn pirate in the Midnight Isles. You must be a landlubber who's never set foot aboard an airship if you haven't heard of me. You can travel to faraway lands whenever you want, but you chose to be a pirate? Only a real scumbag would waste that kind of freedom on robbery and murder. Aye, lad, the scummiest. Do you know Melara? That nutjob? Her entire crew must be wimps and weaklings if they haven't slit such a leader's throat or fed her to Ishiar's beasts yet. Can't help but notice that despite Kurz's dramatic bravado, a spark of fear gleams in his eyes. Tell me more about being a pirate. Yeah, what exactly do you want to know? The life of a pirate ship captain consists of 4 things: his vessel, his crew, his experience, and Pazuzu's patronage, of course. You already have wings of your own. Why do you need a flying ship? Kurz eyes you with suspicion as if searching for signs of mockery in your face. Sure, and what do you propose I do with all the loot? Carry it on my back? What about the slaves we tuck into the cargo hold? The ship is a big flying treasure chest, and it also provides a fair amount of cover from arrows and spells that rain down on us during boardings. Tell me about your vessel. You'll recognize my Bloody Bitch right away by the huge skull decorating her prow. We secured that trophy near Vazglar, and there was a great fight for it. A few other captains wanted to lay their hands on it as well. Aside from the skull, I've done good work on the Bloody Bitch. You can't find a better attack vessel. Her broadside can take a dragon strike, her 3/4 sails can catch any wind, and her ballistae don't rely on lousy spears, only alchemical fire. So what kind of crew do you have on board? The toughest rogues and cutthroats you could ever want. They're my hand-picked collection, each one as bad as the next. They're the most notorious rabble, the most infamous scoundrels you could ever find in the Abyss. They'd sell their own mothers into slavery for a chipped copper. Turn on me? Never. Nobody else could land them a better deal than I can. If they ditched me, they wouldn't make it 3 steps before taking a knife in the back, so they've got no choice but to follow me till the end. So how many ships have you plundered? Puffing out his chest a little, the demon offers a fanged, leering grin, then answers with all the cutthroat swagger he can muster. The Bloody Bitch is well known in the Midnight Isles, and her black sail sows terror wherever she goes. I can't count how many poor sods I've sent to Dagon. I was leading the charge, saber in hand, back in the days when Valexia was flashing her bare tits in the skies over Elutionera, and when Zephorian, that old rapscallion, ruled the city. As for loot, the treasures that have passed through my hands, and I spent them all on booze. Tell me a thrilling tale. You like gory stories, eh? Fine. Once we were floating by Migorg when our lookout spotted the wreckage of a ship caught in a hurricane. So we decided to search for cargo, but instead, we only found a sailor who was clutching at the wreckage. We fished him out, brought him to his senses, hung him up on the mast, and questioned him properly. Our ship's cook knows how to loosen tongues with his knife. Long story short, the poor sod spilled that he was a pirate himself. His ship had set sail from one of Alir's deserted islands, where they hid part of their spoils. We smelled a windfall, so we rushed to Alir. But Alir, that place isn't for the faint-hearted. Predatory vines, carnivorous flowers that breathe out clouds of poisonous pollen, and walking bushes that surround you, pounce on you, and sting you with thorns till you die. Oh, and did I mention toxic springs, or the flies that crawl into your ears while you sleep and lay their eggs inside your brain, driving you insane? All in all, the place was a nightmare, and we found ourselves right in the middle of it all. 3 times our prisoner told us where to check for the stash. Each time we dug, but all we found was dirt and bones. By the 3rd attempt, the damned island had already wiped out half the crew. We realized that asshole was playing us, so we gutted him. You know what we saw then? All his entrails were covered with whitish mold and overgrown with some spongy fungus. His heart, his guts, his brain, the gunk was everywhere. According to our ship's dock, that fungus controlled every one of the sailor's steps. He got infected on a leer, then he left the island to lure in fresh fodder for the plants. We fled as fast as we could, but for a long, long time, I couldn't believe those damn weeds got so smart they were able to trick us. Yeah, that's kinda brutal. You mention Pazuzu quite often. Do you worship him? Sure I do. Only total idiots don't worship the demon lord of the sky and winged creatures. Well, at least if we're talking about aeronauts. All the storms, wind currents, and beasts who feed on those currents, they're all bend to his will. That's why I bombard Lord Pazuzu with my prayers as often as I can. No more questions. I have to go. May Pazuzu fill your sails with wind, stranger, but no more than mine. Alright. Oh, something is going on here. Okay. Well, I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode, I think we're going to see what's going on right here. Till then, I am Chestic44. I'll send in his Falai. That is me, Regil, Woljif, Darren, Lan, and Nenio. This has been a Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, and I shall see you all next time.